ever wondered what you can do about air pollution? The truth is, the easiest way to reduce air pollution is to use less energy. So I'm into making my 1950s vintage home as energy efficient as possible. I had an energy audit and the auditor said that I should insulate my crawl space covers. Now I have 6 of these vents on my house, but they're only covered with a thin sheet of aluminum. So today, I'm going to cover them with foam board. Before we start, all of your supplies need to be at room temperature. So make sure to bring them inside at least 48 hours before you begin. I need 1.5 inches of foam board on the back of my covers, but at the hardware store, the boards that were already 1.5 inches thick wouldn't fit in my car. So I got ones that were 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to use 2 layers. And here we go. So you lay the foam board out, and get your cover and place it on top. Get your box knife and cut around the edges, slanting the knife in just a little bit. Now I'm not cutting all the way through the foam board. This is because it's very soft and it will crack off perfectly when you're done cutting. I mark a hole where the hole on my cover is. And now it just pops right off. Brush off the crumbs. And where the hole was, that's where the pencil comes in. I poke it a few times just to make sure it's at least as big as the one on the cover. Now I need to do this twice. Now we're ready to do the glue. Now I've already opened this bottle of glue, but if you haven't opened yours yet, you cut the tip at an angle to make sure you can get a good bead when you're applying the adhesive, and then you puncture the seal on the inside. To place it in the gun, just stick it down here, slide it up, tighten it down. And according to the directions, you need to apply about 1/4 of an inch of glue, 1/2 inch from the edge. So here it goes. It doesn't need to be exact, I'm just eyeballing it. And remember, this hole creates an edge too, so glue around the hole. And I like to put a little in the middle, just for good measure. Release the pressure so it doesn't keep squeezing out while we're working. Then I take my foam board and press it down. Now here's the trick. You have to lift it up and expose it to the air for a couple of minutes so that the glue can get tacky. And then press it back down. Now for the second layer, just repeat that. crawl space covers now have 1.5 inches of foam board on the back, and I'm ready to go close the vents. Though it looks a little jury-rigged, these covers are just wired on. So I've already replaced the old wire with a new piece of wire, and I'm just going to pull it through. And that is how you insulate your crawl space to hopefully make your floors warmer without using more energy. It's not only good for your budget, it's good for the air.